Say what you want about me. I am a fun guy.
Oh, that's comedy.
Oh, man. People are always trying to move in with me, but I don't have much room, you know? All right, enough fucking mushroom jokes. I don't have any more, El. Tonight, a mycologist's wet dream explodes into the sheets. Fungi. Truly the weirdest of God's creatures right here on Deep Fat Fried.
Deep Fat Fried!
Where the fuck did TJ go?
I think he went to go eat some
3, 2,
mushrooms.
1, start recording.
There was some fucking bullshit kept beeping over there. I had to go stop it.
It's your fault, TJ.
Like, ba-da-doop, 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 ba-da-doop. It's like, shut up.
It's the TJ error alarm.
I didn't. There ain't no fucking errors.
Oh, we know.
Here,
We know
right?
the errors you caused, dude. We did
No,
that game
no,
stream.
no,
You
no,
hacked.
no.
You hacked the stream, dude. Yes, you did.
Shut up. I didn't cause
Yes,
nothing.
you did, TJ. Yes, you did.
I ain't here to cause no problems, boy.
You are the
I
problem.
ain't here to cause no
You ain't
damn
here-
problem.
You're not here to cause the problem. You are the problem, TJ.
Yeah,
yeah,
TJ,
Misunderstanding.
stop
you
giving
speaking
us all this shiitake, okay?
Okay.
Oh boy, oh boy. So let's talk about edible fungi to start because everybody wants to put the mushroom in their mouth, right?
Yeah.
Every mushroom that you've seen, you've had a moment where you're like, "Can I put that in my mouth and eat that motherfucker right now?" And
Yeah, even the weird one that's grown in your yard, you kind of look at it like, I wonder if that's edible.
it's like growing
You think-
out of a old moldy cat turd, and you're like, maybe.
Man,
So
you never know, right?
here's a look at
mean-
some fungi that you can actually eat. This is
All right, I will.
this is Lycoperidon perlatum. So if you're ever caught having to forage out in the wild, there's a few interesting choices you have for edible mushrooms. This one here is Lycoperidon peraltum, as I said,
See,
also known as the
I'm glad
common
we're doing this
puffball.
episode because if I'd have looked at that in nature, just like you would
I
have been
did.
like, no, that's probably not a good one. But now I know that's legit. I can eat that.
These are puffballs. These are known as puffball mushrooms. They're the mushrooms that when you squeeze them, they let a little puff of spores out of them. They got some other names: a common puffball, gem-studded puffball, devil's snuff box, and a warded puffball.
Dude, if I ever see any of these, I'm going to immediately think it's the devil's snuff box.
That's the best name. Why would you call it anything else?
Yeah.
Yep. So Lycoperidon literally translated means wolf fart.
Dope.
So it's the wolf fart mushroom.
I'm assuming it does not smell pleasant then.
Probably not.
The name is used for other puffball species as well. This particular one, you squeeze it, the spores come out. So let's see. Lycoperidon peraltum are edible mushrooms only when they're young and the flesh is still white. Puffballs have a leathery rind surrounding a marshmallow-like inner flesh. The interior texture can become unpleasant if not cooked properly. The traditional method is to bread the mushrooms and slice them up and fry them.
Okay, well, frying it. I mean, if you fry some, it's going to taste good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a fact almost.
And once they're
Almost.
cooked like that, you can. I've never had these, but I hear through the grapevine that you can treat them pretty much like tofu or chicken. Like add them to any dish, and they just kind of soak up the flavors around them in the same way that those two kind of ingredients do.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's most mushrooms. If you're cooking with them, it's not like you kind of need them as a canvas to absorb those flavors for you.
So they can be worked into a ton of different recipes. Native Americans also used them to stop bleeding on wounds. They were like a bandage, a natural bandage, because their innards are absorbent and spongy.
Whoa,
Whoa.
look at this one.
You like this one here, huh? This is
Stalactite.
another edible mushroom, by the way. Another one you'd probably look at and go like, nope, can't eat that shit. But you can eat this one.
Yeah.
This is Hercinium erinaceus, part of the tooth fungus group, which is also known as a lion's mane fungus. Lion's mane and its close relatives are very distinctive, being entirely covered with long hair-like soft spines. They are white or whitish and grow from dead or dying wood. Surprisingly, the spines do not seem at all hairy in the mouth, and the flavor is slightly but definitely fish-like, which is interesting.
Interesting.
The group as a whole has no lookalikes, toxic or otherwise. So
if you see this, you know for
safe.
sure, like legit, you can eat this.
yep, this is.
So if you're ever lost in the woods and you see this bullshit, you know.
It looks like mushroom.
I can eat that.
It's like mushroom cotton candy, dude.
Yeah. Tastes like
so
fish.
lion's mane is reputed in folk medicine and stuff as having medicinal properties, and it's used as a preventative supplement. Lion's mane and its relatives are more or less interchangeable from a culinary perspective, though lion's mane has only one of the group regularly cultivated. So I guess, these are cultivated for different reasons. Unfortunately, cultivated specimens tend not to have much flavor. So if you eat these, you actually kind of want to find them in the wild.
Yeah, that's where they have
they're
legit
better if
taste.
you find them growing out of that dead, rotten ass wood and shit. But I definitely would not have put this in my mouth before this. And now if I'm dying in the woods, I'm eating the fuck out of that motherfucker right there.
It's like, ooh, lucky day.
Look at some rotting wood.
Found me some fish roam. Ugh, I don't even want to eat that.
Oh man, fuck that. Ugh.
That's like fucking withered ball sack kind of shit.
Dude, I'm telling you right here. I've actually tasted this mushroom. This is a morel. That was the joke that I told at the beginning that TJ didn't get.
I didn't get it because I don't know that mushroom.
I said I was going to tell, I ran out of, I don't have any morel. You know what I mean? I ran out of mushroom jokes. Anyway, this is a morel mushroom. Morels have a rich, nutty flavor and appear honeycomb-like. That's what turns a lot of people off. They kind of look like tripe.
They look nasty. I don't want it.
They do not
withered,
taste
fucking
like
nasty
tripe.
ass ball sack, dude.
They do not taste like tripe. They like I said, they have a really rich, body rich, nutty kind of flavor. They're added to fancy dishes and shit. They go for about 90 a pound fresh and 254 pound dried and prepared. So there's a rich tradition of morel mushroom hunting across the United States. So people actually, in areas where these grow, when they pop out, they'll go hunting for them because they're worth so much money.
Fucking valuable.
Yeah. So they grow from March to May, basically in the wild in the areas where they grow. And during that time, morels can be plentiful in hardwood forests. What do you do with such expensive mushrooms? The common method of cooking them is decidedly unfancy. You just fry them in butter and oil. Put them between two slices of white bread is the traditional way to consume your morel mushroom harvest. So people will go out and pick these. Some people will sell them. Other people will bring them home and fry them up in butter and oil and just put them on a sandwich and eat them like that. And apparently they're fucking delicious and meaty and nutty and flavorful. I've had a little bit of morel mushroom worked into a recipe and did not find them objectionable, but they also weren't fried up whole like this.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
It's an expensive sandwich.
Now, another one too, by the way, that you would not think you could put in your pie hole.
Yeah.
You saw that fucking thing growing out of the ground, you'd probably be like, nope, I'd die if I ate that.
What's that weird nut-looking fungus? Yeah. No.
I don't want it.
So let's look at the ones that we should not put in our mouths, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the poisonous fungi. Right here. This one actually, and see, isn't it fucked up? That one looks tasty, doesn't it?
It's like Toad's head.
That motherfucker looks like it'll make you grow fucking bigger like Mario or some shit.
But it's
like Super Mario.
But it's red though, TJ. I mean, nature red is like a warning.
Yeah, red is kind of like,
it's like don't fucking eat me.
What do you mean red is a warning? Red means raspberry.
Yeah, like an apple too.
But this context, it looks like a fucking warning here, Paul. I don't know. I wouldn't eat that fucking thing.
This guy's got better instincts than me because I'd ate that mother. I'd have been
you
like, that's the safe one.
Ooh.
You want them ball sack looking mushrooms? No, I'm gonna eat that Mario mushroom over there.
So this is a fly,
and I'd be fucking dead.
This is a fly agaric mushroom. Maybe familiar because it looks like an iconic toadstool found in most fairy tales and children's stories. This is exactly how the mushroom looks that Willy Wonka takes a dip of cream out of. It's a red spotted mushroom just like this. So Toxic effects. Well, hold on. The fly agaric is poisonous for humans due to muscimol and ebotanic acid, which act on the central nervous system and cause loss of coordination, a mix of agitation followed by sleep, intense nausea, and sometimes hallucinations.
I mean, half of those sound okay.
Well, I mean, some of that sounds okay, and some of it not so much. Toxic effects of the mushrooms display about 1 hour after ingestion. Due to its host of symptoms, the fly agaric is rarely lethal for humans, but poses a high degree of risk because of sporadic behavior caused by intoxication. However, the same toadstools, when consumed by household pets like cats and dogs who find them in the wild, are super fatal. So while you might not die if you eat one of these, you just go on a fucking trip that's pretty gross. If your dog or cat or some shit eats one of these, they're dead as a fucking doornail.
Fuck, dude.
So the mushroom has a long history of being used in religions, obviously for its properties as a hallucinogenic, particularly in Asia. It's been used as a sacred and hallucinogenic ritual drink called soma for more than 4,000 years.
Oh, yeah. I know about soma a little bit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Interestingly, muscimol is excreted through the urine of those intoxicated with the mushroom, leading to followers to seek to drink the urine of people who have eaten it for its hallucinatory properties.
Piss the drugs in my mouth.
Yep. I mean, pretty fucking crazy, but if you see it in the woods and you're in a survival situation, you might want to think twice before eating it, I guess.
See,
now, this is one you might just think, yeah, it's fine.
Here's another one that just looks like I could chop it up and fry that motherfucker up and have a grand old time.
Well, if I were you, I would not. This is a really deadly mushroom, aptly named the death cap.
Okay. Yeah. See,
perhaps the deadliest of all mushrooms in the world.
Shit.
The death cap is found throughout Europe and closely resembles edible straw mushrooms. So it's a look-alike mushroom, basically. There are mushrooms that look very much like this mushroom that are totally fine to eat. You can cook them up, throw them in your meat or whatever the fuck and stew. But this one, it will fucking kill you dead. So its heat-stable amatoxins withstand cooking temperatures and quickly damage cells throughout the body. Within 6 to 12 hours after consumption, violent abdominal pain, vomiting, bloody diarrhea, rapid loss of fluid from the tissues, and an intense thirst. Signs of severe involvement of the liver, kidneys, and central nervous system soon follow, including a decrease in urinary output and a lowering of blood sugar. This condition leads to a coma and death in more than 50% of the incidents that are reported. Notable deaths for people that have been killed by this mushroom are Pope Clement the 7th? Died of accidental death cap poisoning in 1534, and possibly Roman Emperor Claudius in 54 CE. It's
shit
bandied about that this
mushroom kills motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And it looks so fucking innocent. I have eaten mushrooms that look like this motherfucker.
Would you care for a death cap, TJ?
Yeah, I've definitely eaten some mushrooms that bear a striking resemblance to this and not died. So it's fucked up. They should make it look different.
So when it comes to mean fungus, this is another one. Looks kind of similar to the death cap. This is another big culprit in mushroom poisoning. This is the deadly dapperling.
I like the name.
Pretty cool. The name of this gilled mushroom speaks for itself. Dangerous due to its amatoxin content, just like the death cap, which was responsible for 80 to 90% of mycetism deaths after eating a mushroom. The deadly dapperling is found throughout Europe and Asia, as well as coniferous forests in North America, often mistaken for edible varieties. So once again, it's another look-alike one. Accidentally eating this mushroom causes severe liver toxicity. If not treated immediately, can be fatal. If untreated, the fatality rate of the amatox is about 50. So it's like a coin flip. If you're not somewhere you can be treated and you eat this, it's a coin flip whether you live through it.
Fuck.
It's still 10% fatal even if you are close to help for it. So it's like a 10-barrel fucking revolver with one bullet in the chamber, and you put it to your head when you eat one of these fucking things. Yep.
Probably still an unpleasant opinion probably still unpleasant for the other 90% too. So.
I would imagine, yeah. That's also depending on the amount that you eat. So the more you eat, the less chance you have to live through it.
That's why most people have no business eating fucking mushrooms in the wild. Just
It's
no
true.
fucking business.
You really just shouldn't eat them. Most of them. The deadly dapperling was responsible for a significant outbreak of mushroom poisoning between April 28th and May 28th, 2018, which affected more than 1,200 people. So this happens pretty routinely, actually, in Europe and around coniferous forests in North America, where people will go harvest these thinking they're an edible variety of mushroom, eat them, and end up
Yum, looks good.
I think you're definitely ill. Yeah.
Yeah, surfaces mushroom looks like a little pancake, for fuck's sake.
So we've talked about ones that we want to eat. We've talked about ones that we definitely don't want to eat. Let's talk about the coolest looking ones. Just like looks alone, the coolest fungus.
Cool.
This one's definitely got to be on the list.
Bioluminescence. Yeah.
This is Pinellus stypticus, commonly known as the bitter oyster, a widely distributed species of fungus found in Asia, Australia, Europe, and North America, where it grows in groups of dense overlapping clusters on logs, stumps, and trunks of deciduous trees. These flat fungi take hold of the branches and become dazzling decorations as soon as the sun sets. Pinellus stypticus is one of several dozen species of fungi that are bioluminescent. The luminescence is localized to the edges of the gills and the junction of the gills with the stem and the cap, as you can see. Glows a bright green in the dark.
That's pretty dope.
It is the only bioluminescent fungus in North America. So if you encounter it in other ranges, it will not illuminate in the dark. So it's only bioluminescent in eastern North America. So you won't find this in western deciduous forests. You will find this fungus, but it will not glow in the dark. It only glows in the dark in eastern deciduous forests. Kind of weird, but cool.
Definitely.
Scientific epithet stypticus refers to this mushroom's ability to stop bleeding. This practice apparently comes from the traditional Chinese medicine, where the mushroom was used externally on wounds. So it's good at stopping, I guess, assisting in clotting of blood, the closing of wounds. And it glows in the fucking dark, too. Which to me would say, don't rub this in my wound.
I think the wound should glow after you do it, too.
Maybe it does.
It's like a glowing mushroom wound.
Oh, I actually remember something about that. This was used in the fucking Civil War. And guys would fucking glow when they rubbed it on them. It was used as like an antibiotic. They would fucking grab it off the trees and shit and rub it on themselves and they'd glow.
Cool.
Pretty neat,
That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
This one's pretty weird looking. Tremella
like spaghetti.
mesenterica. So this is called, common names include the yellow brain, the golden jelly fungus, the yellow trembler, and witch's butter. So this is a jiggly fucking mushroom.
This here is witch's butter, boy.
Yeah, I've never seen a mushroom like that before.
Yeah, you have.
So it's just a common jelly fungus. There's a ton of different types of these, I guess. It's most frequently found on dead branches as a parasite of wood decay fungi. The gelatinous orange-yellow fruit body of the fungus, which can grow up to 7.5 centimeters, that's 3 inches in diameter, has a convoluted or lobed surface that is greasy or slimy when it's damp. You'll find it growing in the crevices and bark, so you can see that they pulled this one out of the bark. It doesn't usually grow externally, which might account for why you've never seen one of these, Scotty, because they grow usually deep in the crevices. You might see a hint of something orange in there, but unless you dig it out like they've done in this picture, you're not going to get to see the whole thing.
Interesting.
It's in widely in broadleafed and mixed forest, widely distributed in temperate and tropical regions, Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, South America. So it's all over the world.
It's everywhere.
Anywhere you'll find a forest, basically. Although it's bland and flavorless, by the way, in case you were wondering, you can eat this, and it does provide nutritional value. So once again, another one that I would think stay the fuck away from. But
yeah, really.
Eat that son of a bitch.
In
Eat
a survival situation,
it's bland,
this is totally
it's flavorless. It's bland and flavorless, but it will there is calories in it. You can eat it.
Yep.
It can be eaten.
So this one I think TJ will like a lot.
Lol.
This is the Phallus imputicus mushroom.
Phallus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It translates literally to the immodest penis mushroom. Botanist John Gerard referred to Phallus imputicus as the prick mushroom or Fungus virilis penis effigy.
It's a prick mushroom.
It's a mushroom.
Yep.
It's the dick shroom, it is.
So he was the first scientist to describe this mushroom. He's considered to be the guy that discovered it and cataloged it in the 16th century. It's more commonly known as the stinkhorn for reasons that will become obvious in a second.
Okay.
The physiology of the stinkhorn mushroom is where things get really interesting. And when we say interesting, we mean gut-wrenchingly, disgustingly, fucking puke-wrenchingly gross. The fruiting body of Phallus imputicus, that's the part of the body that's ejected from out of the ground, is produced from a squishy, bizarre egg, which looks like a cross-sectional view of a slimy piece of sushi. After it bursts its way through the ground, the fruiting body oozes out gelatinous goop known as gleba, which contains the stinkhorn spores. According to the stinkhorn wiki, the gleba smells like the dead, rotting flesh of animals and dung.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah, dude, it's a fucking penis mushroom that stinks like a fucking turd. I love it,
TJ. Go ahead and eat some.
Is it safe to eat or not? Come on. Let us know.
It's not recommended that you eat this, but I don't think it can cause like intestinal distress or whatever. But I guess in a survival situation, you could eat a stinkhorn or two.
Yeah, eat that motherfucker.
Eat a little prick mushroom, TJ.
Eat the motherfucking stinkhorn. I think I have a gif of this motherfucker.
Yeah, next picture is the fruiting body of one of its cousins. So this is kind of a time lapse, obviously, of one of the cousins of the stinkhorn being born here, which is really
alive.
This is an Acero rubra or sea anemone stinkhorn. It smells like rotting carrion. Cool. This awesome stinkhorn appears in tropical and subtropical areas. In the United States, it's common in Hawaii and in the southeastern states, where it has apparently been introduced as an invasive species. So stinkhorns coming to where you live, TJ. Watch out next time
coming
you leave.
Soon.
Because these motherfuckers have showed up in Florida, and you know that ain't but a hop, skip, and a jump to the bayou, boy.
Oh, it's bayou in the bayou. The stinkhorn, she a coming.
Big, disgusting, nasty fucking thing.
What the fuck is this?
What's this shit? Look like little demon
like
legs
wasp
or something.
Fucking fungus or something.
Yeah, this is
turds.
This is probably the worst kind of fungi, even worse than the poisonous ones, where at least you get a coin flip at living. These are the fungi that have no mercy. These are our parasitic fungi. So when fungi attack, sometimes it can be quite lucrative. Yarza Gumbu, meaning summer grass, winter worm in Tibetan, is one fungus that has a horrifying life cycle and a surprising supposed benefit. The Yarza Gumbu mushroom forms under the soil. It's long and skinny with an appearance something like a knobby little carrot, right?
Okay.
This parasitic fungus infects the bodies of ghost moth caterpillars, and it, in effect, eats its host. So that's why it's got a long body, like a knobby little carrot, because it basically like eats the cat. It's a fungified caterpillar, basically. So it infects the bodies of ghost moth caterpillars, eats its hosts. The caterpillars die slowly, standing upright in the dirt. The living fungus pokes through the host caterpillar's head in the spring to reach the surface. Throughout the Himalayas and altitudes ranging from 3,000 to 5,000 meters, it's about 9,000 to 16,000 feet, so way up there. Mushrooms can easily be harvested. Ancient Tibetan texts identify Yarza Gumbu mushrooms as being an aphrodisiac, perhaps because they make male caterpillars they infect become erect in their death throes.
Okay. People are like, hey, it worked for the caterpillar. The caterpillar's dead, but he is hard. I mean, Pop me a couple of those, see if that fucking helps my dick problems.
Yeah, I'll either be dead or be hard. So
I mean, maybe it'll eat me too. I don't know, but either way, I'll be rock fucking hard. So
these are pretty. They can be harvested, but they're pretty tough to harvest, and because of the benefit of them and the difficulty in harvesting them, they retail for about $2,000 an ounce.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah,
it must make your dick fucking gold. I don't know about that.
The weight also includes the mummified caterpillar that's attached to it. So you can see the Yarza Gumbu sticking out the top and then the dead caterpillar it's sticking out of. You get that whole thing.
Yeah. Awesome.
About $2,000 an ounce for that.
Cool. Yeah, seems fair.
I can live without it.
So if you're, TJ, if your caterpillar's having trouble staying rigid.
Yeah. Just get you some Gartsu Yanbu or whatever the fuck it is.
Only $2,000 an ounce or whatever the fuck.
And then you got your dick. Your dick game is fucking back to 100% once you try the Yartsu Gumbu caterpillar corpse with fungus sticking out the head. So
you've probably seen these before in nature documentaries. These are called These are the family cordyceps.
Yes.
The zombie ant fungus or zombie bug fungi, all in the cordyceps family. So this is pictured here. This is Ophiocordyceps campanati floridani, and this affects ants and manipulates their behavior in a way that's beneficial to the fungus's growth and transmission. So these infected dead ants are called zombie ants. So they're basically have their central nervous system taken over by the fungus, and the fungus basically forces them to climb up to the highest point that they can reach, and then they die, and this erupts from the back of their head, and the spores from this drift away on the wind to find another fucking ant. This is the only reason that this fungus exists. It does not exist outside of ants. It cannot exist or be born outside of ants. And its only life cycle includes taking over an ant and then killing it so that it can find other ants to take over and kill and blah, 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 blah. And an endless parasitic cycle of one-sided zero benefit to the ant, right? So pretty weird.
Dude, the homicidal fungus, dude.
Dead ant.
What is your next job? To infect more ants.
I think Scotty has this fungus. I think he's the example where it's leaped from ants to humans.
Well, I tell you what, dude, if you're ever sitting with Scotty and something erupts from the back of his head, like a big old fucking mushroom looking shit like this comes out of the back of his head, you know why.
Do not be concerned, TJ.
But until then, there's no knowing which way the wind is blowing.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Do the rowers keep on mowing, TJ?
Maybe.
Is the Grizzly Reaper mowing?
I mean, definitely. All the time.
This is ergot. This has been responsible for many a famine in human history since the advent of mass agriculture. One example of a fungus that causes disease in humans is Claviceps purpurea. That's my best. The cause of ergotism. So it was a disease that was prevalent in Northern Europe in the Middle Ages, particularly in regions of high rye bread consumption. Victims had hallucinations, writhed in agony in their beds, vomited, ran crazy in the streets, and suffered terrible burning sensations in their limbs.
This sounds pretty fucking crazy.
Remember we covered another episode. Was
the whole village is just like,
well, people. A lot of the
screaming through
the
streets.
These dancing illnesses are attributed to shit like this.
Yeah, ergotism, Scotty.
Yeah.
Ergotism. So, dude,
you got the tism, the ergotism.
It basically turns the whole fucking village into the original crew of the Event Horizon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not fun. Yeah.
You got ergotism, boy.
So ergot contains a chemical that makes the sufferers go fucking berserk and causes gangrene of the hands and feet. That's the burning sensation that you feel is it's your hands dying. So yeah, constriction of blood to the extremities, etc. If it's not treated, and this was not possible in the Middle Ages, so it couldn't be treated if you got this in the Middle Ages. Victims had the sensation of being burned at the stake before their fingers, toes, and hands and feet dropped off.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes.
Sometimes that is the way the wind she goes a blowing. There are some theories that victims of ergotism may have been targeted in witchcraft trials because of the bizarre behavior that they, portrayed when they were under its influences and suffering from it. Ergotamine is used to control hemorrhage and bleeding during childbirth, and is also used to treat migraine headaches. So ergot is not something that is totally unuseful to us, but if you're poisoned by it or eat too much of it, it's either a good trip or a bad trip, depending on what you're into.
I guess so. Yeah, you might just rip your neighbors apart or something,
So that's it. That's what I got for you today on fungus. If you liked this, of course, a billion more. So let me know in the fucking comment section. We'll delve back into the world of fungus.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about this.
TJ's armpit and see what grows under there next time.
Yeah, but it's really growing on me.
I should have got a little fake mushroom. I could have been like,
that would have been sweet.
I know, right?
Oh well.
Oh, didn't plan it out. Sorry. See you next time.
Big Fat Pride.